North Dakota today. We are crafting at Michael's with the all-time favorite Beverly Shots, and winter is on our mind.
It is.
It was a nice weekend, and it's still cold, but you know what? We could still decorate like winter.
We can, and you know, it's kind of fun to just spruce things up a little bit after we take down all the Christmas decorations, which are pretty much down for most people, not everybody. And I hold nothing against people that
not
take
even
their time doing that because
March is still okay.
Yes,
they are pretty. But you know what? It's sad when you take it down and then you're like, what's the next holiday that I can decorate for? And so winter.
Yes, and I was going to do one more snowman craft, and I thought, nope, we'll just do a really fun, quick and easy wreath. I don't think we've ever used one of the styrofoam wreath forms before. They've been done so many different ways, and we're keeping it simple today. We're just going to add some wintry florals
and bows,
and some yes, we got to add some bows, and you know, everything can be poked into the wreath form because it is a styrofoam wreath.
It's a very dense styrofoam, which is one of the first things I told you when I picked this up. I'm like, oh, I thought it was going to be soft. No. So I see why you pre-punctured some holes for me.
Because they go in pretty hard. But you know what? They stay in there too when you poke them in. So it does make it a little easier to create your craft because it's just a matter of, you know, of pushing them into the wreath form, and then you can add a little bit of glue at the base of each one that you poke in, just to be on the safe side, because then you don't have to worry that it's going to fall out. And you know, I've seen these wreaths decorated so many different ways over the years. I mean, you can wrap the entire wreath with ribbon if you want. There is a process that I thought about doing, but I knew we didn't have time for it. It is where you're wrapping ribbon and then you're doing a twist and then you're wrapping some more and twist. So you get kind of a
fun
kind
rope.
Of a scallop, you know, on your ribbon. But I thought, no, I think today we're going to keep things simple, which is incredibly rare for me.
I do have a question for you, though, because you did pre-puncture the holes. How did you do that?
I just pushed the stem in, and these stems are quite rigid. And so what I learned, though, is the stems really will, you know, they have to be somewhat rigid, but they will go in quite well and quite easily, actually. I mean, you give them a little, you know, you got to get a little muscle.
So I am going to have to use muscle here then.
Yeah, you got to give it a little muscle. But you know, a lot of times when I've created wreaths, I will attach like a brick of floral foam, which is super easy to push wire into and whatnot. But I thought, because this is styrofoam, we're just going to make it, you know, use it as our floral foam or our base. And as you can see, they kind of don't look
it's
too
not that bad.
No. So and you know, wreath building is, you know, I mean, everyone does things a little different. I always tend to gravitate so it's up in the upper left corner for the decor. But you know, you can hang it and put it however you want.
It could be at the bottom.
I mean, they're pretty versatile. I did also think about completely covering the wreath form with glitter.
Of course.
And then I thought better of it.
Nothing wrong with that.
And you know, another fun idea that I didn't do, but you could do if you don't want the mess of the glitter, is to use some of that glitterific, which is the glitter in the clear paint base or the glue base. And it could be brushed on the entire wreath form just to give it a little sparkle or a little appearance of frost. You know, so yeah. And these are things that can be done. I mean, they don't have to be done. You know, I mean, you can finish your wreath and then think about it and take a look at it. And if you want to add a little extra sparkle or something to it, you certainly can.
Do you think there's a point where with wreath making where it's too much?
I do. I think it can get to the point where maybe it is too much. Although I have seen wreaths that are incredibly dense with ribbon and decorations and whatnot, and they're absolutely gorgeous. They just are. But it all kind of boils down to what your taste is. You know, and I kind of thought with this one, you know, the simplicity of it just kind of coincides with maybe how bare our homes feel without our Christmas decorations. So it's just something very simple, but yet adds a little pop of color. And you know, and there's so many beautiful florals. These are I'm actually utilizing from some of our Christmas.
I was going to say clearance. The flower reminds me of Christmas here.
And I always, you know, I kind of plan every year to do something with leftover Christmas decor that can carry us beyond Christmas. And, you know, gray is such a popular color for decorating. You know, I don't know, you know, because we are at the clearance phase with all of our Christmas items, there may not be a lot of these exact stems left, but there are a lot of beautiful stems
But you
waiting.
have so much, it could be different colors. It doesn't have to be the teal. It could be
not
purple,
at all.
maybe. Purple might be a little wintry.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, I think you could do almost any color, and you know, just for a little spark, a little something.
Yeah.
In that empty spot that that you maybe had your Christmas wreath hanging, or you know, maybe you want to hang it on the outside of your house, but you want to secure it fairly well because it's very light. Very lightweight, so it may take off on one of our windy North Dakota days.
And so I have actually always wondered, is this wreath made to hang out on the outside of the door from the outside of your home, or maybe more the inside? How like durable?
I would
Where
say
you...
the wreath would be very durable.
Okay.
And you know, what I usually explain to people, like as far as like silk or fabric florals go, you know, you can't tear them.
Okay.
But if you take a leaf, an actual live leaf or a petal from a flower, you can tear them easily. And most of those things that are growing outside are very fragile. You know, so I think that your artificial type florals are pretty tough.
Okay.
The only thing I am concerned with is if you have a lot of direct sunlight, a lot of fading will typically occur, or at least some fading. We do have some non-fade or fade resistant bushes that we get in each season.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
So,
just always wondered, because sometimes you see the
Yes.
real stuff for outside,
Right.
and then being this, maybe it gets a little wet sometimes.
Right.
I don't know.
And that, you know, really, I've had pretty good luck. I usually almost always have something hanging on the outside of the house that, of course, isn't real.
Yep.
And they do quite well. Like I said, the only thing I've noticed is some fading.
Okay.
And that's in, you know, a lot of times when the summer sun is very hot.
Yeah.
You know, and
So
we
not
do
too much in the
face
winter.
the sun, but no,
Okay.
the winter isn't too bad. But this looks beautiful.
This is
You were doing
wonderful.
you're doing a great job.
I have to pick it up every time and look
I
at
know,
it and kind
I
of
know, and
decide.
exactly. That's exactly
So-
what I did too.
Yeah.
Is that I would pick it up and then I would look at it. And you know, if you want, you can tuck some Spanish moss in around your stems, kind of as a little bit of a filler. You could use some of the green Spanish moss so that kind of gives a hint of spring, maybe
Yep.
with a little bit of green in there. Or you can just keep it completely simple.
Yeah.
And that it's just kind of fun. to do
It
that
is really
sometimes.
fun. Yeah, and poking it in the right angle, I'm learning,
Yes,
is the
yes,
hard part,
yes.
but that's kind of the art behind it.
You bet.
So, okay, got two more
Okay,
to go.
so-
I do want to talk about Valentine's
coming
Day.
up?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes.
see you're matching the next week's
Yeah,
crafts.
I am. I just could not wait to dive into the Valentine because it is such a colorful and pretty little holiday.
Yeah.
And so yes, so these are a couple of the crafts we've got coming up, and you know, it's been a while since we've done one of the sensory jars. And so we're going to be making a sensory jar.
okay.
And I've tested numerous containers, and I love to do the little twist with this. And then you get all kinds of swirls going.
Yep.
But I've tested lots of containers, but this particular one that we carry here, it is the absolute best.
Okay.
For it being leak-proof.
That's
Yes.
important, especially with kids.
Exactly. And when you're making a sensory bottle, you of course want to fill it as absolutely full as you possibly can get it, because you don't want a really big gaping air bubble. You know, you're going to have a little one, but you know, there is just something about the sensory jars or bottles
Yeah.
that are, you know, they're fun for kids and adults. It was kind of funny when I was creating this one. There were a couple of my coworkers watching, and they were just enjoying watching.
Oh, fun. Good.
The glitter.
Mesmerizing
Yes,
and everything.
Yes. Yep. And then
Fun.
we got a fun little frame craft, and we're gonna get a little
Okay.
dangerous with that procedure.
I
so
like it.
Hopefully we don't burn the store down, but you'll definitely want to stay tuned.
So many different options.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna get pink and purple
We are,
and red
yes.
and going after we're done with our teals here in our winter wreath. So,
Absolutely.
Beverly, where can we find everything Michael's in crafting?
Right. We are out at 1459 East LaSalle in the Hay Creek Shopping Center.
And it's pretty easy to put a hook in here too.
Very
If you-
easy,
Yeah.
yes.
Let's do it.
You
All right,
bet.
so going on the front door.
Very good.
Thank you. Keep it here. More to come on.